Picture this. It's December 6th, 1917. World War I is raging across Europe. But in the bustling port city of Halifax, Nova Scotia, the war feels distant. The harbor is a hub of activity, a critical lifeline for supplies heading to the front lines. But on this cold morning, a perfect storm of human error and catastrophic physics is about to unleash hell on Earth. This is the terrifying true story of the Halifax Explosion, the largest man-made blast the world had ever seen, a disaster that would hold that grim record until the atomic bomb. It all started with two ships on a collision course. First, we have the SS Mont Blanc, a French cargo ship. But this was no ordinary vessel. Its holds were a floating powder keg, packed to the brim with over 3,000 tons of high explosives. Talking TNT, highly flammable gun cotton, and barrels of volatile picric acid. The Mont Blanc was quite literally a bomb waiting for a spark. Its destination was Europe, to deliver its deadly cargo to the war effort. Then there's the SS Imo, a Norwegian ship chartered to carry relief supplies to war-torn Belgium. It was empty and riding high in the water, making it difficult to steer. On that fateful morning, Imo was leaving the harbor just as the Mont Blanc was entering through a narrow strait known as the Narrows. A series of miscommunications, confusing whistle signals, and stubborn maneuvers led to the unthinkable. Just before 9 a.m., the Imo struck the Mont Blanc on its starboard bow. The collision itself wasn't severe, it was more of a scrape. But it was enough. Sparks flew from the grinding metal, igniting the picric acid stored on the Mont Blanc's deck. A fire erupted instantly. The crew, knowing the apocalyptic cargo they were sitting on, made a split-second decision. They abandoned ship, rowing desperately for shore while shouting warnings that their ship was going to explode. But their cries were in French, lost in the noise of the busy harbor, and their warnings went unheeded. For 20 agonizing minutes, the burning ship drifted across the harbor, a pillar of black smoke rising into the sky. It was a terrifying yet mesmerizing sight. People stopped what they were doing. Office workers, school children, and families gathered at their windows to watch the spectacle unfold. A local train dispatcher, Vince Coleman, became a hero when he realized the danger. He stayed at his post to send one last telegraph message, warning incoming trains to stop, saving hundreds of lives at the cost of his own. At precisely 9:04 and 35 seconds a.m., the Mont Blanc exploded. The ship was instantly vaporized in a white-hot flash. The blast created a shockwave that tore through the air at over 7,000 miles per hour, leveling 2 square miles of Halifax in an instant. Buildings were flattened, trees snapped like twigs, and steel railway lines were twisted into mangled shapes. A half-ton anchor from the Mont Blanc was launched over 2 miles away, where it rests to this day. The sheer force of the explosion created a pressure wave that shattered windows for 50 miles around. For the thousands of people watching from their windows, this was a death sentence. The glass turned into millions of tiny, deadly projectiles, causing horrific injuries and permanently blinding hundreds of people. Immediately following the blast, a massive tsunami, created by the water rushing in to fill the void left by the vaporized ship, surged through the streets, dragging victims and debris back out to sea. The aftermath was a scene from a nightmare. Nearly 2,000 people were killed. Over 9,000 were injured. The north end of Halifax was wiped off the map, a smoldering ruin of what was once a vibrant community. The response was immediate, with aid pouring in from across Canada and the United States, especially Boston, which sent a relief train through a blizzard. This act of kindness forged a bond that lasts to this day, with Halifax sending a giant Christmas tree to Boston every year as a thank you. The Halifax explosion remains a stark reminder of how a simple chain of events can lead to unimaginable disaster. It was a tragedy born from a preventable collision, amplified by the brutal realities of war. It's a story of loss, heroism, and the enduring strength of a city that refused to be broken. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as incredible as I did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into history. See you next time.